The mission of Trail is to give people with intellectual disabilities the opportunity to live their lives as independently and as fully as possible.
My name is Alan Paul Kaufman, and I'm 28 years old. I love my life.
Trail Academy stands for Teaching, Reaching, Achieving, Independent Living.
We go bowling, we go movies, we go out to eat, all kinds of fun things. I like being on my own. It's more independent.
We were seeing a lot of people who had some skills and no place to really practice those skills. So we conceived the idea of a place where people could go, kind of like a life college, if you will, learn how to be independent in a safe environment so that you could actually live independently.
Trail Academy is an 18-month program, just like you would go through 18 months of a university or college, and we want that to be exactly what it is.
I wanted to learn how to live on my own and how to live independently.
My name's Vicki Bricker. I'm the Director of Intellectual and Developmental Disability Services for Lancaster County Behavioral Health and Developmental Services. We have about 2,000 people that we support, so we refer to the Trail program, and then Accenture, they interview and pick the best candidates for the program.
One of the things that we do as our initial onboarding process is what's called a meet and greet, where families and the individual participants that we have already gotten referrals about get to meet each other and learn a little bit about each other to see if they're a good fit for Trail Academy.
I got to meet the staff. I liked all the staff, and I liked my roommate.
When the participants immediately go into the program, they're introduced to their 2 staff people that they'll be working with for the first 6 months of the program. We even have an extra bedroom in the house so that this staff person can start off sleeping and making sure that any activities that need to be done are getting done.
What I love most is the fact that I can interact with the individuals so they can just embrace just motivation, inspiration, free to know that they can do anything that they put their minds to.
Our direct support starts off with a full-time job, and then slowly after 6 months we wean off of that, and then it's completely as needed support. And so that direct support staff is really the crucial component of what it means to say, I'm going with you through this process, but then I need to back off so that I can see that you do it on your own. When it comes to involving parents, we're gonna ask you to step back. And I know that that's hard, but we also know that the ultimate goal is independent living.
I think it did force me, but it forced me in a good way. And this has allowed me to let Matt mature by learning what he can do.
Kim gets to be an adult. She's required to make adult decisions with adult consequences, but she has a safety net. It is perfect from that standpoint.
We have a designated move-in date. The parents move their kids in. If they need help, we have a maintenance department here at Accenture that will also help. And both Trail Academies are townhomes, and they're specifically selected based on the location to be convenient for bus stops. We make sure there's restaurants around there, pharmacy that they go to that's walking distance.
I was kind of nervous because you moving into a different place. Well, once I got to move in and I got to meet my roommate more, then I felt better.
I got to see where I was gonna sleep and what the apartment looked like before I moved in. So it was fun.
Moving day, I help hang clothes. I'm here, put the computer hooked up, the pictures on the wall.
One of the hardest things was the first day leaving him here. That was very difficult, and then it got easier.
Our effort in doing this isn't that we have a want to move him out, but rather we have a need to know that he can. And we feel that's the greatest thing for his future and his health.
My parents cried, I cried, but now that I'm independent and I'm on my own, I feel I can learn how to take care of myself and do all that stuff.
When it comes to the curriculum, we start off with 3 main topics that we want to cover to build independent living skills. And so we have community involvement, personal skills, and then home management. So the way that we break down community involvement is anything that you would do outside of your home in the community.
With transportation, we might very well start with learning what a bus booklet looks like, how you read the bus schedule, what bus you need. After a couple weeks, it's like, hey, I'm gonna hop on the bus with you, and now you're doing it. And then, they're doing it completely on their own, which is beautiful. Then we say, okay, what other resources do we have? Let's download Uber on our phone, let's figure out other ways we're getting around. Where can you walk to? The curriculum just keeps expanding, and it just keeps excelling, and you just keep pushing.
Taking the bus and using the smartphone was very hard for me, but I'm learning a lot. I can call someone to pick me up and take me wherever I need to go, and that's one thing I could never do, and now I can do it. So
I use Red Bus Transit every week, get on and off the bus.
When he first rode the bus, the first thing he did was to call me and say, Mom, I rode the bus today and I did it by myself and I made it there and I made it back. And so it's a huge thing. It's a huge thing.
These are things that we almost dared not think would he be able to do, and sure enough he can. And he explains to us now how the bus works.
When it comes to home management skills, we teach everything from how to clean the house to how to maintain the yard to how to make sure that I'm cooking appropriately, and all of the home management skills that you would think of that are inside the walls of your house.
yeah, it's really neat. We got to learn how to cook.
I love cooking meals. We go grocery shopping, get the groceries, bring it back, and cook it. Never clean it up, put dishes away.
To actually see the individual go out in the community, like the grocery store, and able to follow a grocery list and get the things that he needed. It's a very good feeling, to see that.
It taught me how to clean the house and do my laundry. I like vacuuming, that's my thing, so they teach you how to do it and then you learn your own.
From there, we also make sure that we're maintaining personal skills. So you're working on skills in order to be social and to have the appearance of someone who's well put together. But we don't just touch on hygiene and make sure that hygienic skills are there. We want to make sure that everything with their health is protected and safe so that going forward and living independently, that's never going to be an issue. One of the bigger milestones that we see as an accomplishment is when individuals who are participating get to handle their own money.
I think we had fake coins that we used just to learn how to budget, but now it turned into real money.
At one point, I've actually taken him to the bank, and he walked to the teller, introduced himself, and said he would like to cash a check, and he was able to do it with no help at all.
Based on my personal experience, a lot of the parents tell you these are skills that they don't think they'll have the patience to teach their children, or they literally will say, we never thought our kid would be able to do, what we are able to teach them. Really what we're trying to do is just kind of wake up what's already inside there. It's pretty much like saying, hey, we believe in your kid, maybe even a little more than you do right now, and that's okay. Before you know it, you too will believe because you'll see it,
Graduation is a huge milestone. We will get invitations and we will have diplomas, and there's a big party at the end. So the individuals who participate get to invite their families and friends to take part in this special event for them.
I love the Trail Academy. I think it's a great opportunity, and I think that a lot of people would benefit from it.
As it turns out, it's an absolute godsend. Her confidence is obvious. She's competent now in things that she didn't used to be.
Just
Even on the phone, our relatives are going, wow,
what a difference.
Kimberly is a different person.
All their life they've been told what they can't do, and they walk out of here saying, I can. That's the importance of this program.
I was really happy that I got picked to come to the Trail Academy.